Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Peace and blessings be upon all of you. I want to welcome you here to our annual banquet. And it's always a great time of year to see all the faces that we don't always get to see or that we see but not enough of. It's a gathering for our entire community. And I want to thank the people who worked to put this together, the volunteers from many different communities, from all different ages. And it's always heartening to see that support coming from so many different people, because this is our organization. Now, yesterday marked the anniversary of something very important in our nation's history. 50 years ago, yesterday, was the anniversary of the Selma March, the first Selma March, from Selma to Montgomery. And about 600 people gathered at that bridge to attempt to march to the capital of Alabama, Montgomery, from Selma, in support of voting rights. And it was significant because the Civil Rights Act of 1964 had just been passed 1 year before that. And that supposedly had provided that right for voting to everybody. But in that right, in its implementation, was ambiguity. Because of things like poll taxes, things like literacy tests, and intimidation. There was ambiguity in that right, supposed right. And these brave marchers gathered together, not knowing what was going to happen. There was ambiguity in what was going to happen. It was not clear. They had no way of knowing that when they crossed that bridge, that they would be attacked so severely and so savagely. And that moment was caught on national television. The whole nation was watching. And in that moment, for the nation, a moment of clarity was born. It became clear out of this ambiguity and out of this fog that there was still work to be done, that there was still racism present and alive in our country. And that led to a whole movement. It led to 2,000 people marching, eventually. 2,000 people marching and meeting 50,000 people at the steps of the Capitol in Montgomery, which eventually led to the Voting Rights Act the following year. We are in a moment of ambiguity as well. We live in a time when the execution-style killing of 3 beautiful souls, of 3 young Muslims who dedicated their lives to helping and feeding the homeless and the poor, are executed. And it is characterized as a parking dispute. We live in a moment where gunning down a young boy in a park, playing in a park, is characterized as his fault. We live in a moment where the killing or murdering of a family man who had just dropped off his daughter and was driving on the highway and is gunned down, a Muslim, is characterized as road rage. These are ambiguous times. We as a community and as a nation need clarity in this ambiguous time. And it is times like this that we need to step up and march our nation towards this clarity. Now, CAIR Michigan has, by the grace of God, and we always say that, by the grace of God, led this march towards clarity and continues this march towards clarity. We are providing clarity in the media through our op-eds, through our meetings with the editors, through our statements, clarifying the position of Muslims, clarifying the place of Muslims in America and in our nation on issues that are very unclear, that are very ambiguous. We are there. We are providing clarity through community organizing events and educational events for our community to teach them how to better communicate their message and to communicate their stories, wherever they are. We are providing clarity through discussions with our political and civic leaders on the issues of the day. We are a voice that is at the table for you, for our community, and for our nation as a whole. We are providing clarity. We are providing clarity through proactive policies and accommodations through our Safe Spaces program. We are not waiting. We are providing that clarity ahead of time and getting policies implemented that will provide this clear, safe space for everybody, whether it's in our schools, in our law enforcement, in our courts, or institutions. We do not see the ambiguity that a woman who wears the headscarf for her religious reasons in this county, we do not see that. You can go and you are a full citizen. You have the right. We have that clarification. We are providing clarity through our landmark litigation on several different issues at any given time. Whether it's popular or not, we are providing that clarity. Now is not the time to sit back in our luxurious cars or our homes and think that the fog of ambiguity will clear itself. We cannot wait for another Dia, Yusr, or Roseanne, or Michael Brown, or Eric Garner. We cannot wait and think that this ambiguity will go away by itself. That's too often the mistake that we make. This is the time to stand up and lead and march ourselves towards clarity and let the nation know that we need clarity. So please join CAIR Michigan in this quest for clarity. By the grace of God, a hate crime will be a hate crime. Discrimination will be called discrimination. And our nation will eventually emerge from this scourge, a scourge of racism and bigotry. Thank you.